Savenaca and good morning, Fiji, and welcome to another episode of the Brunch on my TV. I'm Jacquee Speight.
And Savenaca, I'm Stanley Simpson. Thank you for a warm welcome this Friday morning.
And before we dive into things, it is so good to have you back, Stan.
Thank you, Jacquee.
You were truly missed. I missed you. A few moments there, we had some, little panic sessions. I was just like, man, when this guy gets back. But on behalf of the entire team at my TV, from the management and crew, and people who are watching at home or from their offices, Stan, we wish to extend our heartfelt sympathies to you and the family on the loss of your beautiful mother.
Yes, thank you, Jacquee. That was truly appreciated. I truly felt all your support. You were all there with me. And, we took her over to Savenaca, we buried her in the family cemetery. So these are some truly, powerful experiences you go through in life, some tough ones, but also brings out a lot of goodness when you meet with family, the family connects, the friends, everyone coming together. You really feel you're part of something, big, and just being part of it. I truly felt the support of many people across the country.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing about Fiji, the way, we still come together.
Absolutely.
In moments like
in
this.
Moments like that. Despite, whatever, everyone shows up.
Thank you. That was true. So there's a lot to unpack this morning, and interestingly, we are now less than 2 weeks away from June 24th, the first day the 2022 election writ can be issued. With the general election drawing closer, debate over Fiji's economic direction is really starting to heat up.
And today we're joined by someone who says Fiji needs a fundamentally different economic and political direction. He's a former governor of the Reserve Bank of Fiji, now leader of Unity Fiji, and a strong critic of both the current coalition government and previous administrations. Earlier this week at Dialogue Fiji's State of the Fijian Economy Forum in Suva, he described Fiji's economy as being in its weakest position in 3 decades. He's also calling for major reforms, including a smaller cabinet and tax restructuring.
So this morning we'll unpack these claims, the policies behind them, and the political strategy driving them. Joining us now, Unity Fiji Party Leader, Savenaca Narube. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Jacquee. Good morning, Stanley.
So Savenaca Narube and Unity Fiji going at it again, third time. Twice before wasn't so lucky. What will be different this time?
Well, what's different this time is that we have a government that people are fed up with. They don't trust it. They don't believe it has done all it needed to do for its promises. That is the biggest difference, Stanley. That people are saying, we are fed up with this, we need a change.
That would be what some would have said was with the Fiji First government. That was 16 years. People said they were fed up.
They were fed up.
With that, but they gave the opportunity to someone different to try and get rid of that fed up. And you think they're now fed up of the people that will get brought into...
The differences between the two governments are significant. It's not the same. Fiji First was for different reasons. These guys, the ones in government, they have failed to deliver what they promised to deliver when they wanted to win that election. That is the critical difference here. And that's the difference that we are feeling as we go around hearing and seeing around Fiji. There is a growing dissatisfaction. That will change the scenario for this election, which was not in the last one.
So, Mr. Narube, what will be different about the Unity Fiji campaign this time around?
Well, our major issues is that we are more credible. We will deliver what we say we will deliver, and people can trust this leadership to do that.
What do you mean deliver what you said you'll deliver?
Yes, the credibility of the party. If you look at the credibility, the achievements of my achievement as the leader, you can't beat that in any other political party. Let's talk straight about that.
What achievements are these?
The achievements in the leadership positions, and the impact of those leadership decisions on the economy, it's there for everybody.
You're talking about the governor of the Reserve Bank?
Governor of the Reserve Bank, the permanent secretary of finance, the chairmanship of 8 boards right across Fiji, the impact of that. Not only the position, you need to look behind the position. What was delivered. And I can rattle that off for you if we have time.
You do have an impressive CV, Mr. Narube, but that has been introduced to the people of Fiji in 2018 and again in 2022. But in 2018, you won, Unity won 6,896 votes.
Right.
1.5% of the vote. You yourself won around just 2,800 votes. In 2022, you increased. You went to 13,100. But still, just 2.78% of the vote.
Yes.
And you won, I think, 6,000 votes plus in 2022. So you've been introduced twice.
Yes.
You know, that impressive CV has been presented twice to the people of Fiji. And twice they've said, no, we'll go with the people that you criticize, the former military leaders.
Yes.
What's not working for you?
It takes time for people to focus on the right things. These things do take time. And we understand the voters here. They prefer to have another coup maker as their answer to another coup maker, Fiji First. So that's how people think. That's how the mentality of the voters. We understand that fully, but our CV is still there, and now they have seen this government, they have seen the Fiji First government. They now know what the people want is not delivered. So that's why our CV is now much more prominent, or my CV, than what it was in the last two elections.
But Jacquee, you and I, we've had this discussion that, the connection that seems to be held. It's mainly been like, I said, these former military leaders are powerful figures.
Yes.
Have seemed to come out strongly. That people in Fiji.
People get behind them. They don't look. They don't, hold them. They don't look at them as being coup leaders. They're like, you're a leader, and I think it's just power. It's just that being able to.
You are not making that connection yet, Mr.
We are making the connection. The people are not.
Well, the previous two elections you did not make that connection.
Because of the voters are not. We say about the credibility of these coup leaders. I ask you a question. Would they have been in government without the coup? No, they wouldn't. The only ticket that got them there is because they overtook a legal government. And that's how the voters in Fiji.
Yet they went on to win democratic elections, you'd agree?
Yeah, and we are paying a big price for it. And who's paying that price? It is the people. We are paying the big
Before
price.
we go on, if the team have it, I just want to play a clip just to revisit, because you've said this before, and I want people to see you saying it back in 2022 and why you think it'll be different. Now, this is when I asked you the question about whether it'll make a difference in 2022 elections.
Sure. Yes, this is different.
But at the same time, you had made an assumption in 2018. You told me in this on the show in 2018. You said you had checked on polling and have done your own research, and you found that there was a big voter bloc in the middle that did not want Fiji First and did not want SEDELPA and was ripe for the taking, and that you were going to get it. Your votes, if my numbers are saying, is 6,000 votes. Unity Fiji, 6,896 votes of the percentage, which was 1.5%. So you did not get that middle vote, or you made a wrong assumption. And you yourself got 2,811 votes. And the next one on Fiji First, which was Alfred Bolivar, was 432 votes. So learning from that, how are you trying not to make sure you don't repeat the same mistakes?
We're just getting people to be aware of us. We didn't have time in 2018, about 10 months to prepare a new party. So we have learned our lessons from there. So we are going out a lot more. Our presence in the media is a lot more. People now know more about us and what we could do to this country. So based on that, I think our numbers would be much different. Quite opposite of what happened in 2018.
So reaching the threshold to make sure it's counted.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Narube,
Yeah.
what will be different this time around after watching that? Do you think you've had more time? And where, you've been going out to meet the voters, do you feel everything is shifted now and is working in your favor?
Yeah, let me just go back to the 2022 numbers. We increased, we doubled. Some parties in parliament actually went down quite significantly. And I was the sixth largest voter in 2022. So to us, it means that we are growing.
But
This party is growing.
But growing by 1%, as you know,
Yeah,
is
we could
not,
grow more. We
it's
should
not
grow
from
more.
6,000 to 13,000. Yeah, you
Yeah.
doubled your numbers, but it only went to 2.7,
But it's the direction I'm talking about, Stanley. It's the direction that gives us optimism. That, yeah, people are slowly realizing us, knowing us, so they are voting more and more of us. What's happening to those that are significantly, their votes are significantly down? This used to have 19 seats. Now they only have 3 seats. So that gives us hope.
Yeah, but
So
for
for
us,
us,
is meeting the threshold, that
could I finish?
yeah.
For us, the dynamics are different here in this election, as I mentioned. People have seen what the two governments can do. They are very bitterly disappointed. And now the people know more of us, more and more, as we go out and tell them who we are and what we can do.
Mayor Katin, it seems that it's more than just knowing more of you. It's making that connection, because it's still you're far away from where the two big parties are. The two big parties making the impact. So how much more do people need to know you? How much connection you need to make? You're basically, from what I'm seeing, saying the same things you said in 2022. What are you saying that's different that you think will connect?
Yeah, persistence, I think, is the answer to what we can do. We just persist, and actually go out a lot more and tell people. And what we are getting right now is a totally different reaction. Different reaction. So we are hopeful because of that.
Persistence, they say, sometimes pays off. With that, we head to the break. We'll be back with Mr. Narube straight after.
Welcome back. You're watching The Brunch on MyTV, and we have in studio Unity Fiji Party leader Savenaca Narube. Mr. Narube, we've been speaking with you about the upcoming elections, what your party is doing different, how you're gauging conversation that you've been having around the country. So this week, the most popular thing that everyone's talking about right now is the Dialogue Fiji Economic Forum that was held at the Grand Pacific Hotel. And you said, as you were a panelist there, you said that Fiji's economy is in its weakest position in 3 decades. How did you come to make this assessment? And what are some of the solutions that you feel could counter this?
Yeah, when I started my intervention on Tuesday was, we need to know where we are. We need to know. If we do not know where we are, it's quite difficult to go where you want to go. So the previous day, they had technical speakers that are non-politicians that were saying what the situation was. When we came to our session, we have different views of where we are. But I say different views won't help us. No? If you have different views, you have political rhetorics around it, is not of no value to me. We wasted a lot of time in that session by jostling for political position. We just look at the numbers. What do the numbers tell us? Okay? And these were presented to the group on the day before by the IMF and the World Bank. So the numbers are there.
What
are the numbers? First, on economic growth, we have come down from a 3% projection to below 2%. Okay? We need to be growing at about 3 to 4% to be able to get people to find jobs, and they need jobs. Second, we look at our debt situation. It's still above 85% of GDP. Okay? No argument of that. Who borrowed more, whether it's Fiji First or whether this government. That, to me, is ineffective. We need to know where we are. So that is there. Inflation is, we all know, cost of living are rising. And my favorite indicator is poverty. You look at poverty, no? And poverty to me is much more worse than the official figures are telling us, which is out of date. 5 years ago or so, we need to update that. And I think that poverty is worsening very much now.
Yeah.
Start there and then go from there.
So a lot of clear statements and positions on where we are at. What I think a lot of people, the comments from what I saw, that a lot of people commented was not much solutions were being provided.
Sure.
Right? So what's the solution? Because, well, first of all, let me just respond to what Biman Prasad said. He rejected your assessment of it being the worst economy in the past 30 years.
Of course.
He said it was the strong tourism performance. We have improving government revenues. And yes, we have a high debt with a declining debt to GDP ratio. It's evidence that the economy is moving in the right direction. I just put that there, but you know, so that again, as you said, you had different views.
Disregard those. Let's look at the
numbers. Let's look at let's look at the solutions now.
Okay.
I think the numbers, we know where it is at the moment.
Of course we do.
Yeah. So what's the way forward?
To me, I offered 3 short-term solutions and 1 long-term one.
Okay.
In that. Okay. Very clear, I hope. The first one, as I mentioned in the panel, we need to create that fiscal space. We need to have fiscal discipline, which we don't. Because in certain times like this, where people are suffering.
When you talk about fiscal, just
can I finish, please?
Can we talk about fiscal?
I'm trying to explain here.
Yeah. So I wanted to say, when you're saying fiscal, you meaning spending?
Yes.
Yes.
Fiscal spending, budget spending.
Right.
We need to control that to create that fiscal space to allow government to help the people. Right now, it's very difficult. We don't have fiscal space. That has been brought out by the International Monetary Fund and many others. Yeah, we know that. And the way to do that is to cut spending. And that's what I have proposed, some cutting spending. The cabinet numbers to be brought down to 12, 15 is now 35 or 36, the largest cabinet in history of Fiji. We need to reduce the parliamentary salaries back to 2022, okay? And we need to cut half travel, and we need to cut non-essential expenses by 15%, and a few others that I mentioned.
You're talking about number 1 at the moment?
That's my number 1 priority.
All right.
Create that fiscal space so government can do more. So that's my first one.
Second?
Okay? My second one was that we need to moderate the cost of living. Yeah? It is something that is caused from outside Fiji, but we should not be helpless to doing it. So I said, let's try to moderate the cost of living. Again, trying to help the people. Families are struggling, I tell you, with the cost of living. So my proposal was, which I proposed many times, make use of the mechanism we call the price controls. Yeah? Make sure that we are sharing the burden of this. Not only the people, the household, also the corporate sector. And they can use that mechanism of price control.
Okay, the government would say that those controls are in place already.
Yes, make use of that to share that burden about more.
And you don't think the social welfare, you say moderating the price, the social welfare programs are not enough at the moment? There's
That's
a lot
a separate
of spending.
argument.
Okay.
The first argument is try to share amongst the corporate and the people the burden of this and use that mechanism that they have on price control. The second, the third? No,
Yeah.
this is just the
still
measures
on the second. Okay.
to control, to help moderate the cost of living. The second was that I had proposed that we stabilize our exchange rate. Don't allow it to drop. That created a lot of discussion. They say Professor Biman didn't like it. And they said it was a lazy option. My view is that, well, this theory aside,
Sorry to cut in, because I'm trying to get people to understand. When you're saying stabilize, you're talking about devaluing the
do
dollar?
not let it weaken, drop.
So how do you do that?
Oh, there's a mechanism there that can be done through pegging of the exchange rate to 5 currencies in the basket. That's a technical thing, but it can be done. Believe me, we have done it in the past.
So this is not devaluing the dollar?
Not devaluing, stabilizing the currency. Do not let the currency weaken. If you look at the strength of the Fiji dollar, we have weakened a lot in the last 5 years, 10 years. That makes the imported price much more expensive for us, for Fiji dollar. And we can do that. Whether it's a lazy one or not, it is an instrument that we can use. Yeah? We have used it in the past, let me say that.
When in the past did we use it?
After the, I can't remember now, but yeah, believe me, the Reserve Bank has used that. Yeah, and many Reserve Bank around the world use it after COVID as well. Yeah, it's a common mechanism.
Okay, it's something. Well, we're not. We haven't been governors of Reserve Bank, so we're not aware. I'm trying to, because I'm trying to see if people can connect.
Yes.
To that message.
This will make our
import understand what you're saying.
Or at least not expensive as what is happening now.
Okay. Before we move on, I'd like to go back to your size of the cabinet expenditure. Yeah. You talk about being 12. Can that really look after a country like ours? 12
our population per capita for a cabinet.
Because you're talking about cutting expenses, cutting a lot.
We used to have it before.
That's 1970s.
Yes, the size of government is still the same. They haven't expanded. But 36 is a joke.
36 is too much, but would 12 be too little?
Sure, that's your view. My view is, can we go down?
Because as compared, like a country like Mauritius, for instance, they have 25. I Googled to check to make a comparison.
Yep.
So just that people are already complaining about government services and
Sure.
quality of government performance, and then you wonder if that will be a side effect where
No, it will be better. It will be better. The delegations are fewer, the responsibility are much more clear, and the monitoring of performance will be much easier.
Have you worked out what the 12 portfolios would be?
Yes, we have. We have easy to do. Yeah, we can just go back to what the allocations of portfolio that we have done.
And that would mean, Jacquee, I would think 12 really super people to handle those portfolios, because you need quality people.
No. The ministers have a role. Many of those other supporting roles are done by officials. I know that. I've worked in government.
Ministers are just guiding
Yes.
at that moment.
Ministers should just be involved in the policy strategic issues. Now they want to go down to the operational issues. Why? They complicate the efficiencies of running a government. So the fewer, the better.
All right. Can we move to point number 3?
Okay. Then number 3, we need to reduce this ugly corruption issue. We need to do it. Yeah, because corruption benefits the rich. Always. At the expense of the poor. Always. And they reduce the efficiency of allocation. They get allocated funds when they're supposed not to be allocated funds. So that reduces the efficiencies of budgeting.
How do you reduce corruption?
Well, that's a multifaceted, very complex set of solutions to it. But what I suggested, government must lead it. Government must play the lead role in this. They must preach this in their policies, their strategies, and so forth. They must uphold the principles of good governance, transparency, and so forth. That's the first one. They're not doing it, sorry to say. The second, which I floated with due respect to the current Commissioner of Police, I didn't say that he should step aside. I said maybe we should get an expatriate police commissioner to come and help us out here. The current commissioner can stay there as advisory role, can take over after that session. But we need that independent police commissioner to come in and do that for us. The corruption in our police forces is growing. Yeah, and we're all suffering because of it. So that's something that we could
force
do.
And then the corruption in government.
Yeah, and we look at, of course, the penalties of the courts on this. So those are my suggestions for fighting corruption.
Your three.
That's the three.
Can you just repeat the three again before we go to the break?
Fiscal space. Government needs to increase its fiscal space. Second, they need to moderate the cost of living. Third, we need to eradicate and fight corruption.
All right, that's the three from Unity Fiji party leader Savenaca Narube. Will be back after the break.
Welcome back. You're watching The Brunch on MyTV. We're with the Unity Fiji party leader, Savenaca Narube, in studio. Mr. Narube, at the Dialogue Fiji forum, you proposed reducing fuel taxes and offsetting the lost revenue through higher taxes on luxury goods. Can you explain how that proposal would work in practice?
Very easy. They just change the tariff numbers in the tariff code, to reduce that, and it has to be passed by Parliament. So that's the process that, or by Cabinet and then onwards to Parliament. It's normally done during budget time, but they can do it anytime. But follow that process. The fuel duty of fuel, that goes to government. It hasn't been changed. So I'm talking about sharing this burden of the cost of living. Government, that should be government share. Reduce the fuel cost for us, and then use the price control to look at the margins of corporates. That's what I was talking about earlier. And then lastly, I said, look at luxury goods. Raise those taxes. They'll have to see how it balances out. But while raising those taxes, lowering taxes, I think the aim could be a revenue neutral policy, which is neutral to government, but helps the people.
Yeah, because the thing about that is people saying our economy relies heavily on tourism and consumer spending.
Yeah.
And, how do you ensure that this doesn't make us too expensive? As a destination. Does not discourage investment in key sectors. And that there's also the argument that Fiji's pool of high-income consumers is relatively small. So can they really generate enough revenue to offset?
Yeah, I think they can. I don't have the numbers, but even though they are those higher income earners are less in numbers, in terms of income, they command 80% of income.
Because reducing the fuel tax is going to be a huge dent on our income.
Yeah, on government income.
Which government needs to,
of course,
to perform.
But on the other side, they need to reduce expenses, which they are not doing. Non-essential expenses and wasteful expenses. Yeah.
I want to talk about just when you talked about because you talked before we move on to the economy. You talked about militarization of leadership.
Yes.
And against corruption, military coups. Because there is still this question that you stayed on as governor of the Reserve Bank after the coup in 2006, and that you only were removed because the constitution was abrogated by the 1997 constitution. How you did not leave on your own, in terms of to stand. So how do you balance that when you're saying I'm fighting corruption, but I stayed on with the military government?
There was no corruption then. Are you saying there was corruption at that time?
But it still comes down to standing on principles, ethical leadership, strong leadership at that time.
Of course. I think continuity at that time, particularly on important positions, are quite critical to protect the economy, to protect the financial position. That was my role. I had to protect our foreign reserves and also indirectly protect our government finances.
So you stood there on a matter of principle, even though it was a military government?
Yes, of course. That's what happened. I had a contract that was still intact until, of course, 2009, as you said. So yes, I think what I did actually increased the opportunity for us to grow quickly after the 2026 coup.
Okay.
So that's my contribution
to
the economy.
Okay, just that I made that question because you talked about, we must put away militarization, leadership, militarized leadership and all that, but you did serve under that military government after 2006 for 6 years. But as you said, your argument is you stood there to save the country.
I did that for 3 years.
For 3 years?
Yes.
All right. So you have done also alternative budgets in the past, which was, I think in 2021, you did an alternative budget. So if you did one now, Jacquee, you mentioned actually about your tax reform, but what would be in the 2026 budget, 2026-27 budget drawn up by Mr. Narube? What would be in it?
Yeah, as I said, we need fiscal space for government, and that fiscal space means you have to reduce expenses. So we will look for reduction in expenses, particularly in non-essential expenses.
Examples?
And there are many. As I said, we will reduce salaries of parliamentarians back to what they were in 2022. We could cut overseas travel. We could look at hiring of vehicles. We could reduce non-essential expenses across the board. We have to look at specifics of that. I'm just saying broadly the strategies that we could use. We have a host of things we could look at in reducing expenses. I believe we can save $1 to $1 billion a year in savings.
What would be the cost?
$1 billion in a year. Our budget is 3-point-something billion a year.
It's cutting off a third of
One
our
third
budget.
of that is wasteful.
There will be consequences to that. That would mean lost jobs, lost spending, lost. You could even weaken the consumer economy that we have, some would argue.
No. That is the wrong rationale for it. We need a more efficient spending. The taxpayers demand that we spend their money wisely. We don't spend it on unnecessary things to line people's pockets. That's wrong. That won't hurt anybody. So we need to do that. And while we have the savings, which I said it can go up to $1 billion a year, we can rechannel that to more essential expenses. How's that?
So you don't think it'll shrink the economy?
It will do the opposite. It will grow the economy.
And we'll still have funding for the infrastructure projects, the roads, the hospitals?
Yeah, more funding, because that will be redirecting wasteful expenses to more beneficial ones. Yeah.
You have argued that Fiji's public sector needs to become more efficient and accountable. What are the 3 reforms you would prioritize in your first year of government?
Yeah, you see, this is something that we have heard a lot of complaints about. Just government services to the people. They are very poor. People are being pushed from pillar to post. They've been given applications that are so complicated to handle. So we'll need to review the services of the government to people to make sure that they are relevant, timely, and helps the people. So yeah, a review of government processes, reforms of those if necessary, will need to be done. One of the other issues, we'll need to reform the state-owned enterprises. This is a big hole in the public sector. There has been some piecemeal reviews done here and there. We will review the entire SOEs and ensure that government transfers, capital as well as operational transfers, are better spent. So that's a big job.
There's a lot of big statements
That is, yes.
to make. And I've heard a lot of governments come in and say that's what they're going to do.
Yes.
Until they come in and they meet that government bureaucracy and that government machinery.
I know that.
Things don't move fast.
Yeah.
And they can wear you down. You need some decisive, and you're going to make some big decisions with trying to cut that kind
I've
of
been
level
in government. I know that bureaucracy.
Yeah.
I will go and implement this. It's much easier. It's the political will that is missing. They don't have the political will. If you have the political will, the officials should follow that.
You don't think Rambuka and this coalition government had the political will?
No.
Because these things don't take time, don't happen quickly.
They have to happen quickly. That is the reform we want. We can't have 3 years to start implementing something that they should have done in the first year. No.
Because,
Don't blame the civil servants, please. I'm asking the politicians. Don't. It is the political will that is there.
Well, I've heard that from the Fiji First government that we need time to fix the decades of neglect.
Yeah.
And then now with this government says, look, the 16 years there's a lot of undoing we have to do, changing mindsets and a lot of, rebuilding of the infrastructure and these things take time. You're saying you can do it much quicker than that?
Yeah, that's political rhetoric for you. Yes, we can do it. Yeah, they initiate it. We will initiate this in the first 2 years, but some of these things takes a bit of time to implement and then come back to
how much
cabinet.
time would we need?
Yeah. How much time? We're hearing
the initiation of the reforms can be done in the first year. Yeah? As I said, that's just a political decision. But for those that goes and reviews and studies, they have to come back with their recommendation within 6 months, I would think, and then the implementation starts.
All right. Going ahead to fighting this next election, with the numbers you had in 2022, how are you looking? What's your strategy now to get the numbers? Because, I mean, you may have the expertise and the right solutions, but maybe it's not connecting with the people. Maybe the message is not getting there. Maybe you're using, speaking a language that people don't understand.
Maybe.
That's why you're using, I was trying to fix some of the words. Fiscal and some of these words. What can you do different, Mr. Rumbe? You need to go down to the people and introduce yourself.
We have learned our lessons a lot on that particular messaging. Right, as former officials of government, we tend to do that a lot in the first year and the second elections. But now, I think we have learned a lot. And we are targeting our messages with a clear, simple language for the targeted group. So I think we'll do much, much better of the messaging, simplicity and targeting that we had before. So we have learned our lessons there. Okay.
Any coalitions, any partnerships? You signed an MOU previously with
Labour
Party?
Yes, Labour.
No, that
and, so any ways to pool your resources? Because you don't have the similar resources as the major parties and the political infrastructure. Or have you worked on that?
Oh, yeah, we don't have the $320,000 taxpayers paid to political parties in government. We don't. Yeah? And that's totally unfair. Totally unfair for them to have $320,000 a year. Within a 4-year cycle, they would have received from us $1 million. We don't. Okay. So finance is a premium for us. We're doing all we can. We're working with our diaspora overseas to help us in that. We're looking at whatever donations, fundraising that we can have here. Yes, finance is a big issue for us.
Mr. Narube, for voters who remain undecided, why should they choose Unity Fiji over parties that already have parliamentary representation and a clearer path to government?
I think this is the point. I think the Prime Minister said I lack political experience, but that's exactly my advantage. That's exactly my advantage. We have enough politicians promising things, and then they go in and do the opposite and don't look after the people. That's the new kind of politics that youth and everybody now needs to go for. They have seen what this government has done. That's there. They have seen what Fiji First is there. And do they want to go back there? I don't think so. Don't think so. And this is what we are trying to tell the people. Look now for the opportunity to change these things, get you a better life with your family. And that is with Unity Fiji. And we have the know-how, We have the experience, we have the leadership to take us there. That is our main message to them.
All right. Mr. Narube, Unity Fiji Party Leader, thank you for joining Jacquee and I on the Brunch Show today. Wonderful discussions. We will certainly be having more with political party leaders, including Mr. Narube, going into the, towards the end of the year and as we head towards the next general election. Thank you again, sir, for joining us on the show.
Thank you, Stanley. Thank you.
We'll be back after the break.
Welcome back. You're watching The Brunch on My TV, and we hope you're enjoying the show so far.
Yeah, interesting interview with Savenaca Narube.
Great discussions with him.
I think, he has some plans, but it's important that we try and get on the specifics.
Yes,
on
bold plans, very bold plans.
Very bold plans. That 1 billion cut,
That,
and we have to see that if these things are realistic.
Implementing things, major reforms within 1 year. The things that he discussed doing within 1 year, the first 6 months of getting the paperwork in and then starting the work.
Yeah.
That's very bold.
That's very bold. Some people I would support some things like that.
I would.
We want a more efficient government. I've kind of now gone into a situation where you actually feel, these politicians say something, you just get cynical that it's just what. I think we've lost that hope.
Yes.
That we really need someone to give us hope.
But we can't afford to lose hope. I know we've lost hope, but now we can't afford to lose hope. We're gearing up to the next election.
There's progress on certain fronts, but we do need to move this progress fast. That's the thing I liked from what Mr. Narube said.
That is,
yes. That he said that he thought things can move faster.
Yep,
a
he can shake things up.
Political will is needed, and not enough. We don't want. People are fed up of excuses now.
That's right.
So look, we'll be taking. Someone did call in during the interview and says, "Hey, tell Stanley to take it easy."
Thank you so much for calling in.
On Narube, and no, this is not the time to take it easy on any of these politicians or leaders, whoever they are. We need to ask them the questions, and it's not because we do not like them or anything. It's we want them to really deliver.
That is true.
And we'll ask that of the current government, the previous government, and all the governments.
Because when you get up, they need to know that there are going to be moments where they're going to feel uncomfortable.
And they're there to represent the people.
And they have to be fine with that, yes.
Very good. So that was a great discussion. Some other issues facing the country today, a lot of people going out to sea despite the rough weather. Please.
Stop it.
Yes.
The warnings have gone out, rough weather, we've got strong wind warnings out, forecast for rough seas, and you're still going out.
Yeah, particularly that area in Bengavatulele, where in two recent instances, and from my TV is reporting, one has passed away, the one, that tried to go through the, left from Navua, and the search is still underway for that. And, I posted today that I came from Savu yesterday, and then on the interlink. Man, we were shaking violently.
How long was that trip?
That was a 4 or 5 hour cross.
Our team returned after coming for the funeral, and they said they were stuck on the boat. It was a 9.5 hour trip.
Yeah.
And I was so shocked because that's the same from here to SFO.
Yes. Maybe that includes the road trip as well, but
probably
in the sea. That crossing yesterday, we struggled to berth. So that's a big ship. Yeah. And for these small boats going out in that weather, I mean, this is really, you're not going to win any points. Nature is going to swallow you if you don't be careful.
So please just do the right thing. Think of your families, think of your loved ones. Whatever it is, it can wait.
Yeah.
Just stay home during this period. Don't go out don't go out to sea. Fishing, whatever it is, just keep it on hold until the weather clears up. Won't be long.
We have already had the tragic missing 9
we have.
From the Kandavu waters earlier this year. We had a lucky family, including a child, was rescued on waters outside Vatulele.
Yep.
And now this one here, where the search is continuing. I think 2 have been rescued, 1's passed away, 3 are still missing.
That's right.
The chances of them being, a lot of effort being put to get them, but the chances now is going to be pretty difficult for them being found. But our hope is that they're being found. We'll take a look now at our shot of the day.
And this was captured from a ferry on the way from Nambawalu to Natovi earlier this week.
I was there when this photo was taken.
So beautiful.
Chonati ran across. You know, Chonati's not a photographer, but he ran like he was a photographer, and tried to take this photo.
Of
It is
course.
so beautiful.
So beautiful. If you have a picture or video you'd like featured on the show, please send it to us on the MyTV Facebook page or email brunch@mytvfiji.com.
To our poll question that's up on the MyTV Facebook page.
Do you think the government should reduce or remove fuel taxes to cushion the rising cost of fuel? Let us know what you think by participating in our poll question that is pinned at the top of the MyTV Facebook page, and you could go into the draw to win a slow cooker from Comfort Home Furnishing.
All right, that's a beautiful slow hook, slow cooker.
Slow hook for a slow cooker.
All right, we'll be announcing the
Yeah.
winner every week right here on the show. And that's the show from us this evening, this morning.
This morning.
Yeah.
Thank goodness we're at the end of the week.
That's right.
Yeah, so thank you, Vinaka Vakalevu, to our crew, and of course our guest, Unity Fiji Party Leader, Mr. Savenaca Narube, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Have a nice weekend.
Have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Stay safe, don't drink and drive, and practice safe sex. Nisa Mode.